Last video in the dividend mini-series. Today I'm going to show you some examples how long it takes to retire with certain amounts of money. There are a lot of variables, a lot of inputs in play, so let me show you the calculator I use in Excel and explain all the inputs. Okay, here it is, and let me walk you through it. It's not as complicated as it might seem. On the left, just to keep track of what year of the dividend plan we're in, that's just numbered 1 down through 26 right here. Then we have the price of the stock. We're pretending, just so the math is fairly simple and Excel could handle it, we're pretending we have just one stock and we're just picking a price at random. We need to have some amount in there for the stock price in order to do all the calculations. So just pretend you bought one stock, you put all your money into it, and start of year one it was 50 bucks. Then how much money are you putting in? In this example, I have $80,000. Which means at $50 per share, I was able to buy 1,600 shares. Then we're going to move over to the right. These three variables, how the stock moves year to year. I've put in 5%, so that means if the start of year one, the stock price was $50 and it increased that 5%, well then at the end of the year, it's $52.50. Also on the right side, the yield that you start with the plan, if it's 4.6%, and the price of the stock was $50, that means the company is paying $2.30 per share over the course of the year. Also, how the dividend is increasing year to year. I've put in 6%, and if the first dividend was $2.30, add 6%, and the next year the dividend will be $2.44. So after we have all that set, we could look at column F, the important one, that's why it's highlighted in green, how much money you're making in dividends each year. So if you had $80,000, which was 1,600 shares, and you got $2.30 per share, you would get $3,680 in dividends for year one. And now, all the numbers that were being used, that were on the screen just now, let's use those numbers as an example. So here we are, year one, we put in $80,000, the dividend yield, 4.6%, and on a $50 stock, that's $2.30 per share the company is paying. Our $80,000 got us 1,600 shares. So 1,600 shares multiplied by $2.30. Dividend payments we are getting total $3,680. And in this example, I have myself putting in $10,000 each year for the first 8. So this $10,000 myself plus the $3,680 from the dividend payments is $13,680. The price of the stock at the end of the year, $52.50. That means I can purchase an additional 260 shares with the dividend payments and with my own money. And that's why for year two, instead of 1,600 shares, now there's 1,860 shares. And this keeps happening. The next year we have 1,860 shares, and the dividend amount has increased. The company increased it 6%, that variable on the far right side. Now the dividend payment per share is $2.44. So the dividend payments for year two total $4,536. And also at the end of year two, I've made more than I've spent. I put an additional $10,000 in, and now there's $14,536 to purchase more shares at the end of year two. And this keeps happening. And if this happens for 16 years, then you can see to start year 17 on January 1st of the 17th year of this plan, looking forward, you can see highlighted in green that you would be getting $32,678 in dividend payments. So in that example, I was putting in $10,000 of my own money every year for the first 8 years, in addition to getting shares with the dividend payments. And for the second block of 8 years, I was not putting in any outside money, only using the dividend payments to get more shares. And under those circumstances, it would take 16 years to get to a point where dividend payments were about $32,000. And if you could live on $32,000, then that's it, you retire. But now let's look at that same example, the only difference, not adding any outside money at all. So here's the exact same example. The only difference is that I'm never adding additional money. Those $10,000 deposits for the first 8 years are gone. The only extra money to buy more shares is coming from the green column. The dividend payments are being reinvested to get more shares. So now let's find in the green column where $33,000 is, and that is in year 22. So that means after 21 years of this, if it were the first day of year 22 looking forward, you could count on getting $33,000 in dividend payments. So those two examples were the same, except in one of them, I never added any outside money, the second example, and in the first one, I added $80,000 over the first 8 years. The difference in getting to dividend payments of about $33,000 is only 5 years. It's between 16 years to get to that point and 21. That might sound like a lot of money. You're adding in $80,000 and you're only quickening this plan by 5 years. That's because the money actually doesn't matter all that much. The fact that it's an exponential increase is what matters. That exponential increase over time takes over, the graph becomes steep, and the amount of money you're putting in isn't nearly as big a factor as the fact that your money is growing exponentially. So there's the dividend plan. It's how dividends work. It's how exponential graphs work. That's what I'm doing. If I have other forms of income work out, some ideas that I have pan out, I think I'll be doing what I'm doing now for like 10-12 years. If they don't pan out and playing poker is it, as some girls who are taking picture near the high roller wheel are laughing over there, maybe like 15 to 18 years. So either way, looks solid. I enjoy the poker, so even if it takes 18 more years, that's cool, although I don't think it'll take quite that long.
Yeah, I got it at the stadium in May.